well, welcome back to my channel. My name's Charlotte if you're new around here. I make all sorts of videos, but today I am going to be talking to you about my Disney World trip in November. So many of you have watched the vlogs now, and I noticed there was a couple of reoccurring themes happening in the comments. So I thought I'd put a little trip report together and talk about some of the things that I loved and some of the new experiences we had. And if you can hear rain, it's because I live in an attic, so my roof is slanted and my windows are slanted, and Storm Dennis is raging on outside. It seems to have calmed down a little bit now, but I was up at 5 AM this morning. Not fun for a Sunday, let me tell you. But I've made a couple of notes, so let's go straight in and talk about my 2019 November trip to Walt Disney World. So I had a couple of questions on my flight. I flew British Airways. The flights were about £400 each if I remember correctly, and that included baggage. It was from London to MCO, Orlando International, and honestly guys, the flight was not fantastic. We were late boarding because there was a problem with a passenger's luggage. Not BA's fault, so I don't really blame them for that. But then as we got on the plane, just went a little bit downhill from there really. So we sat in row 31, I think it was the last row before the toilets, on the far side from as you board. So you walk onto the plane, you go straight over the aisle, and then you turn right, and we were like that first row right before the last row right before the toilets. And there was a drip. There was a constant drip for about 2 hours onto Adam's lap, and when we told the air hostess, she didn't really seem very fazed by it. It happens quite a lot apparently. It's the condensation system, but I mean, it wasn't great. 2 hour drip. And then our food came. It was cold, so someone had forgotten to turn on the heater, and we were actually last served for everything, which is not a problem. I don't mind being served last for anything. It's not as if you're going anywhere, is it? You're kind of sat on that plane for 9 hours. But the food was just freezing, so we had to wait another half an hour for our food. They brought it back. It still wasn't particularly warm, not great, and yeah, it was quite disappointing. And then when they came to serve like the meal before landing, it was pastrami and gherkins on a sandwich, and I don't eat either of those, so I was like, oh no thank you, I don't really want one, if that's okay. I just don't want to eat it. And the air stewardess was like, why? I was like, well, I don't really like pastrami. And she was like, well, you probably should have just picked a vegetarian meal. And I was like, I'm not a vegetarian. Like, I didn't want my main course to be vegetarian. If I'd have known that you were going to have pastrami sandwiches, like, maybe I would have done, but I didn't know. Anyway, it was fine. She gave me a lot of bags of pretzels. Like, she was great actually. She was just like, here's like 5 bags of the little pretzels. Like, I'm really sorry, I can't bring you anything else. I have nothing else to give you, so here's 5 bags of pretzels. Positives from the flight though. The entertainment system was fantastic. It was so responsive. The screens are really big at the like back end of the screen of the seat. It was great. The flight actually felt like it took a long time, but the entertainment system was phenomenal. And yeah, I can't fault BA. We're on one of the refurbished planes, which I was really worried about because people were saying that the non-refurbished planes were not great, but luckily we were on a refurbished one, so it was all good. Would I fly BA again? If they were the most competitively priced, yes. At the end of the day, they're just getting you from A to B when you're in economy. But if one of the other airlines was significantly cheaper, I don't feel like I have any brand loyalty to any one of them, so I would fly with BA again. So when we got to Disney World, we stayed at the Beach Club Resort, and oh my god, I think it might be my favourite Disney resort ever. Like, that's big. I stayed at a few resorts and this was my favourite. Up until this point, my favourite was Port Orleans Riverside, but Beach Club just trounced it 100%. Couple of reasons. Our room was fantastic. There was a double sink, the shower was great, the room layout was great, it was cleaned every day, it was close to the lobby. Like, we just felt really lucky with our room. We didn't particularly have a great view, we didn't have a lake view, but I was more than happy with our room. It was wonderful. Location of the actual resort I think is the biggest thing what you're paying for with Beach Club. You can walk to Epcot, you can walk to Hollywood Studios, you can walk to the boardwalk. When you're at any of the parks, if the yacht and beach queue is massive, you jump on the boardwalk bus, like, and if it's dead, like, and it's so easy. You've got the Skyliner now to get around if you want to like take the long route to Hollywood Studios. You've got the friendship boat. We walked to Hollywood Studios most of the time. It took like 10 minutes and it was great. Like, even Adam made a comment that he would absolutely come back and stay at the beach club or the yacht club or the boardwalk. For him, he valued that location more than Seven Seas Lagoon and the Magic Kingdom resorts. Like, I obviously really want to stay on a Magic Kingdom resort on the monorail, but Adam was like, no, if we come back, like, I want to stay like beach club, yacht club, or boardwalk, because that location was just incredible. Then we could walk over to Boardwalk Bakery. I mean, obviously Swan and Dolphin is included as this as well, but it's not actually like a full Disney hotel. But we could walk over to Boardwalk Bakery every morning and grab some food when we were just having like chilled days. We walked over to mini golf. We could walk to Epcot for food and wine, just go in, grab some dinner, or get back to the parks after doing like a non-Disney day and going to watch the fireworks. We could see the fireworks from pretty much outside the front of our hotel. It was just a wonderful hotel experience. Also, I don't think I can talk about the beach club and not mention the Yacht and Beach pool. One of the best pools at Disney. You do have to scan your magic band to get in and out, because obviously it's quite accessible to the general public, and oh, it's just phenomenal. There's a slide, there's a lazy river, there's a kids pool, there's hot tubs, there's adults only hot tubs. We spent a lot of time in the adult only hot tub. My auntie and my mum spent a lot of time around the pool ordering from the poolside bar. There's waitresses that came round and took the order. It was just a great experience, and I 100% recommend that hotel. Next time we go back, I don't like to stay at the same hotel because I want to stay at them all, but I will either stay at Yacht Club or Boardwalk because it was phenomenal. While we're talking about the Skyliner, I loved the Skyliner, I have to admit. I mean, I can appreciate that if you get stuck on it, that's not going to be a fun experience, but we rode it a couple of times. We didn't really ride it anywhere in particular. We had nowhere to go. We just really wanted to ride the Skyliner, and so we got on at Epcot most of the time, and then, or at Hollywood Studios, and kind of went to the other one and then walked back to our hotel because it was just so easy. I loved the turning stations. I was fascinated. I really was sad that Riviera wasn't open. I definitely would have got off and had a look over there if it was. And yeah, it's great. The kind of the hub for the Skyliner is Caribbean Beach Resort. So you go from Epcot to Hollywood Studios into Caribbean Beach, and then you can swap onto another one. It's not one Skyliner route, so that's also worth knowing. It's not just one route. But I really enjoyed it. It's quite breezy up there. It was chilly at our time of year. November was quite cold. I can't really speak what it'd be like in the warmer months, but I enjoyed it. We loved it. We loved riding it. So we might as well move on to the weather. It was cold. Oh my lord, it was cold. It was about 11 degrees at its lowest, where when you're packing for Florida and you're packing shorts, t-shirts, dresses, and maybe one or two kind of light layers, it weren't enough. Like, I had to go and buy warmer clothes because it was cold. I did take my jeans. I knew that I'd need my jeans, and I did buy a few jumpers and that sort of thing. But yeah, it was cold. But I say it was cold for about a week, but then it was also warm for a week as well. So it really was a tale of two holidays. But it was great. It was actually nice to experience Disney when you're not sweating your bum off, and it was pleasurable to walk round. Oh, that rain's picking up now. It was pleasurable to walk round and not be sweating, even if you were a little bit chilly. You just, you know, throw on a jacket. We did go to a water park, and a lot of the comments I've had on that video are from Floridians being like, girl, why were you at that water park? It was freezing. And they won't go to the water park if it drops below like 80 degrees, and I think it was like 74 degrees or something like that, something in the 70s. The water parks don't open if it's too cold, so it was warm enough for the parks to be open, but still too cold for the Floridians to be there. Crowd levels. It was busy. I don't think there's a quiet time to go to Disney anymore, but it was busy. I think a lot of people had booked to go that time of year because they thought Rise of the Resistance would be open. That's why we booked. We wanted to see Galaxy's Edge, but obviously we were just 2 weeks too early. In hindsight, we should have gone like December, but I can't really get time off December at work, or I couldn't at the time. And yeah, it is what it is. We used the fast passes. We booked our dining reservations. We tried to use park time early in the morning when it was quieter, and late at night when it was quieter. And yeah, we just tried to utilize our time, but I don't think there's a quiet time to go to Disney anymore. Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party. So it was my very first Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party experience. I've done 2 Halloween parties in Disney World and 1 Halloween party in Disneyland, California, and I enjoyed Very Merry Christmas Party. It's such a tongue tie, try to say it quick. I enjoyed Very Merry Christmas Party. Did I enjoy it more than Halloween? No, I didn't. I think Halloween is still my jam. I just love Boo to You. I love dressing up. I love the candy that you get and the snacks that you get and the villains and the Headless Horseman. Very Merry Christmas Party though has some very, very strong points. Number 1, the stage show was incredible. I didn't realise I needed to see Clarabelle singing Mariah Carey, but I needed it in my life and it was awesome. And I really enjoyed the fireworks, the Minnie Mouse fireworks. They were really cute as well. The overlays on the rides were great. So Space Mountain had an overlay where it like flashed red and green. It was so much fun. And the cookies were great, and the cocoa was great. The cider was not cider, it was apple juice, but it was fun. And I enjoyed some of the character meets. Belle in her enchanted Christmas dress. I mean, where are you going to meet her in her enchanted Christmas dress outside of Mickey's Very Merry if she's not in Epcot? And I enjoyed seeing the 7 Dwarfs again with their like festive outfits. They're such a fun meet, but it is like seeing family. You have to like go around and be like, hey, 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 hey. But overall, I think I enjoy Boo to You as a parade more than the Christmas parade, and I enjoyed the vibe of Halloween more than I enjoyed Christmas. But Christmas was fun. It snowed on Main Street. It was really festive. Got us in the mood to come home and then start celebrating Christmas in December. So yeah, it's got its good points as well, and I enjoyed it nonetheless. So on to restaurants. And I feel like there's 2 elements to this. I'm going to tell you about the new restaurants we visited and then like my top meals while I was there. So I'm going to read these. So the new restaurants that we did while I was there were, we did Tusker House Dining lunch with Donald and Friends. We did Paddlefish at Disney Springs, Gico over at Animal Kingdom Lodge, the brewery at the Boardwalk, and Chicken Guy as a quick service in Disney Springs. And let me tell you, there are some excellent meals in there. Tusker House character dining, the food there is different to any other character dining you'll do on site. Thoroughly recommend. Lunch was great. Paddlefish, give or take, I think me and Adam ordered the wrong things, to be honest, but I don't know if I'll go back to Paddlefish. Gico was exceptional. It's a 2-credit signature like Paddlefish, but we had steak and mac and cheese. It was to die for. The brewery, and I forget its real name, so I'm going to put that here for you. It was fun. It was fine. We sat indoors. I think in hindsight we should have sat outdoors on the boardwalk, but the food was nice, so I can't complain. Chicken Guy has made its way right up there to my top quick service restaurants in Walt Disney World. The chicken BLT that I had was insane. Absolutely loved it. And actually, one thing that's not here, because I guess it is new because I haven't been there at Disney World, but I went in Disneyland, was Ronto Roasters in Galaxy's Edge. The Endorian chicken wrap. If you like your Greek food, you will love that. It was so tasty. So tasty. So thoroughly recommend that as well. Right, so my top restaurants for this trip, or the top meals that we had. Guys, I'm going to shock you. The best overall meal experience this time wasn't the Yachtsman. I know. Hold the phone. If you guys have been around this channel a while, you'll know that the Yachtsman is my favourite restaurant at Disney World. However, this time it was trumped by California Grill, which has always been up there as well. It's always been like loitering at number 2, but this time for this particular trip it's took over the top spot. Just the overall experience was better. So we had a starter, we had a main, and we had a dessert. So I had sushi to start, steak for a main, or like a fillet of beef for a main, mac and cheese and spinach, and then my dessert was like a chocolatey dessert. Oh, it was so good. We had good wine. I think it helps because you go and see the fireworks as well. Like, we timed it so we finished our meal just before the fireworks and then went to see the fireworks out on the balcony. But also somebody got married at Grand Floridian and had personal fireworks, and we had a perfect view from California Grill. And the waiter was great. It was just a great meal. Even though we weren't sat by a window, I think Adam would put that as his favourite meal while we were there as well. it was just exceptional. That's not to say the Yachtsman wasn't good. It was still very good. We went with our friends Sue and Liam because they were out there at the same time. We made a big kind of like evening of it, and it was phenomenal. Like, oh god, just that steak and mashed potato, incredible. And I still put it up there, the garlic bread, oh yes. The dessert was lovely as well, and I would rate those as my 2 top steaks at Disney World. However, Gico was a very close third, like, as well. It sounds like all I ate was steak. It wasn't. I only ate steak at these 3 places. But my god, the tomato bread at the start, and we didn't have a starter at Yachtsman and Gico, so maybe that's probably why California Grill also trumped it. But that food was just brilliant, just brilliant. I've already mentioned Tusker House. I thought it was a great character dining experience. Donald and his friends in their safari outfit. The food is a bit more flavoursome than what you would find elsewhere. I still love Crystal Palace. It's still my favourite character dining because I love the breakfast there. But my god, Tusker House was fun. It was really fun. I think we also need to give a big shout out here to Food and Wine, because Food and Wine was very good. I really love going around the stalls and eating some of the different foods. That's always really great, really enjoyed it. So 2 more places I want to talk about before I go is Trader Sam's and Jelly Rolls. So both 2 places that we really enjoyed, and we now can't imagine going back to Disney World without doing them. So Trader Sam's is a bar at the Polynesian. It's the Grog Grotto, the one indoors. It looks like a speakeasy, like it's just a door, you walk past it, you're like, oh, here it is. And yeah, we had to wait an hour to get in. We went to California Grill first, and then we went over to Trader Sam's and booked in. And then we just had a little wander around the Polynesian while we were waiting, and it wasn't quite an hour. I think it was about 45 minutes in the end. But once we got in there, we could totally see why. The appeal is phenomenal. Go back and watch the vlog. I ordered a cocktail called the Tiki Rum. And when they serve it to you, the barman has a little banjo and sings the Tiki Room song to you. And every so often things start going off around you, and the bar staff just put on inflatables and feed the snake from the ceiling. It's so wild, it's so much fun, and I can see why people really love it. The second place, Jelly Rolls, is on the boardwalk, so we could walk home after, which was phenomenal. It's an over 18s bar, over 21s bar, because we're in the States, so it's over 21s, and it's about $15 in, and it's great. It's dueling pianos, and you put requests in and people get up and sing and dance, and there's free popcorn. There's a popcorn machine in the corner, and drinks weren't that expensive, and we just had a great time. The piano guys were so talented, and we just had so much fun. So definitely recommend. Adam loved it, so it's definitely one for Adam when we go back to Disney World, because that's his vibe. He loves piano music, he loved that vibe of the bar, and I can't imagine going back now and not doing it, to be honest, because it was so much fun. I should also mention we did head over to Universal while we were there, and we were in there for a day. We bought express passes as well because we were in there for a day. Hagrid's ride though, hold the phone, one of the best rides I've ever been on in my entire life. You've got to do it, it's so much fun. Me and Adam both rode the motorbikes. My mum and my auntie were in the sidecars. We only got to ride it once because Universal was so busy that day, but it was so much fun, and I'm looking forward to going back and riding it multiple times once the hype has died down and it's not a 2-hour wait. But yeah, that is it. I think that's kind of everything I wanted to say for that trip. It was such a fun trip. I would definitely recommend going at that time of year if you want to get into the Christmassy spirit. It's Christmas everywhere. Tower of Terror Christmas show was great as well. I really enjoyed that. Just the whole vibe of Hollywood Studios has changed now. There's so much open there, and I can't wait for the Mickey Mouse ride to open in March next month, and I'm looking forward to going back. What I will say is there's a lot of construction going on at Epcot at the moment. Epcot is a bit of a weird park at the moment, and I'm so glad that we could go in and out of Epcot from International Gateway at the back, and we didn't have to walk through all the building works. I think that really would have taken the shine off Epcot for me, and we tended to stick around the areas like obviously World Showcase and the land and the sea, where there's not much building work going on there at the moment. But it was really heartbreaking to see so many boards up, but I know it's for a better tomorrow, as Walt Disney would say. So yeah, it's just, I could probably go on. There's probably so much more. If you have any questions, leave them down below. I will do my best to answer them, because I know I probably haven't mentioned everything here. But yeah, I feel very fortunate. Galaxy's Edge, I know I haven't talked about Galaxy's Edge because I obviously went to Disneyland and saw it first, so maybe I'm not giving it the attention it deserves, but the attention to detail is phenomenal. Even if you're not a Star Wars fan, I recommend going and spending some time in Galaxy's Edge, because it is just great. But yeah, any other questions, leave them below. I'll do my best to answer them. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all very soon. Don't forget, I help run a Facebook group which is all about Florida and Disney parks, not just the Florida part, but California and Paris and Tokyo and Hong Kong and Shanghai. And it's a great community, it's a great bunch of people, and if you have any questions about any Disney holidays, these guys have the answer. So go and join. I'll leave down the link here for you. We're a fun little group, no drama. And yeah, that's all I have to say. So thank you so much for watching. Please give the video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and I will see you all real soon. Bye guys.